Hello, and welcome to Plantar Fasciitis, Get Your Life Back with the Health Roots program. I'd like to personally congratulate you. Well done on taking matters into your own hands and committing to getting yourself back on your feet again. Stay committed, stay consistent with this program, and I promise you, you're just around the corner from getting back to doing the things that you love. So remember, life is sweet with happy feet.
Okay, so for your setup and posture, first thing you're going to need is your towel, because you don't want to get up after and start sliding. Okay, second thing you're going to need is a nail file. The reason for this is because you want your thumbnails nice and short so that we're not tempted to take on an incorrect posture, which I'll show you in just a minute. Then you're going to need whichever lotion or oils or things that you're going to use. If you're going to use essential oils, make sure that you have a good quality carrier oil like holly oil or something different. I strongly suggest consulting your local aromatherapist to get the correct measurements of each component to that. So I prefer myself a lotion, a higher quality lotion. It's nice, moisturizing, and helps slide at the same time. Okay, so towel, nails filed down nice and short, and whatever it is that you're using to have slidability on your feet while you're working on them. Next we have posture. Notice how the joints in my thumb are stacked in a straight line. This is correct. Even this is called hooking, and this is correct. The one thing that you don't want to do is called banana thumb. So as you're applying pressure on your foot, you don't want to be using this part of your thumb. You want to be using the very tip of your thumb, which is why you want to have your nails filed so you're not scratching yourself. This is hooking here if you're coming this way. If you're going straight, you want to have your joints stacked like so. Okay, so the difference between incorrect and correct posture. Now we're ready to go. Okay, and now for the warm-up. So what you're going to need is a nice amount of the lotion that you're using, and you're going to want to cover the whole foot. And you don't need to be too gentle with your feet, you know. Our feet do a lot of work. They're meant to do a lot of work, so. In the old days, we used to use them the way they were designed, rather than keeping them cooped up in a shoe. So liberally give your foot a good dose of the lotion that you're using, and then just follow the steps that are mapped out in the book. I like to get the circulation going in every single area. So as you're twisting around the toes here, don't pinch too hard, because you don't want to twist the joints. You just want to massage the skin. Wake them up a little bit. They will appreciate this. I promise. You don't even have to really grab and twist around. You can just twist your fingers around like this. You do want to be careful with the joints. When you get to the main part of your foot, I would move along the ridge here. That feels really nice. Some of you might find a little bit of grittiness there. That's normal. If I was teaching you some reflexology, I would tell you what all that means. Get in between the metatarsal bones here. You're going to learn a little bit about the anatomy of your foot today. I'm not going to get into too much of the anatomy, but you're going to feel all of those different bones in the foot. You'll start to feel the circulation coming into your foot now. It feels a lot different than when we don't do these kinds of things. So again, lots of nice massaging. Your feet will love you for this. You know, and really don't be too, when you're warming up here, don't worry too much about which fingers and thumbs and things you're using. We're just giving it a good work over. And the fleshy part here as well. If we were doing reflexology, this is your bladder. So these are good healthy things to do. Sending circulation into different areas of the body as well. Work the outside with the fingertips. Work the top with your thumbs. Work the top of your foot. Okay, so you're going to want to do a warm-up on each of your feet. Make sure they're nice and warmed up. The second one, your other foot, when you start, you'll do the same warm-up. But for now, we will progress on to the session. Okay, so now that we've finished the warm-up, we're ready to get in and fix this plantar fasciitis. Okay, so as the diagram shows in the book, if you take a look at the bottom of your foot, there's a network of connective tissue that runs up from the front of your heel up to the base of your toes. And I'm not going to get into the technical terms for these right now. We're going to keep the anatomy very simple for level 1. So again, from the base, from the front of the heel up to the base of the toes, you've got the thick major band here, the thicker tendon, and then off from there branches off one tendon to go to the base of each toe. And that doesn't go up here, they come to the bottom of the metatarsal bones here. Okay? So if you are like the majority of plantar fasciitis sufferers, the most common place that you're going to feel your pain is here. If you feel your pain in other places, that's common too, it refers out, but the actual source of the original injury is usually here. It can vary, but most times here. So, and then obviously up at the top here. And the reason why that happens, I've explained in the book, is because in our civilization, in our civilized culture, we walk around on flat, hard surfaces with supportive shoes, and which is great, except for we don't get the workout that we would get if we walked around on our feet barefoot on uneven surfaces like we're designed to do. So what I'm going to do is get you into working on this right away. So don't be shy. Again, like we did in the warm-up, just get in there. Start to explore those tendons. You know, one of the ways that they're easier to find is if you just pull your toes back, you can expose those. You can feel them. They're like little guitar strings in there. So pulling your toes towards your knee exposes those tendons. So you can start to feel from the front of the heel here all the way up. You might already be discovering some things just by doing this. Okay? And then again, those smaller ones kind of head up this way. And again, you may start to feel some things already. So, I want you to pretend there's an eyeball on the end of your thumb. And I want you to connect it to your mind's eye. Because what we're doing is largely intuitive. You're going to, well, you're going to feel it in your foot, and you're going to feel it with your thumb as well. So as you run up, sort of sink down here in front of the heel with the tip of your thumb or finger. Whichever angle works best for you. You may find you want to put your hand underneath here and hook this thumb around. Some people have a stronger thumb. You can alternate. Be searching. Be searching. Everybody's anatomy is the same but a tiny bit different. Everyone's injury is the same but different, if that makes any sense. It varies depending on the person. So as you sink in here in front of the heel, you're already going to feel some things. I guarantee it. You're going to feel some scar tissue. You're going to feel a ropiness. You're going to feel a sandpapery type feeling, a bubble wrap type feeling, whatever name you want to put to it. I've heard many, many over the years. Whatever it is, we're going in after it. The whole idea of this technique is to go in, take this mass of scar tissue and adhesion and break it apart. Sounds crazy, I know, but for 10 years now I've been doing this and it works really well. Because what happens is as these things seize up and as this ropiness happens, it accumulates on itself and it causes further injury because there's less and less and less and less mobility over time. It's more and more stiffness, it doesn't move, and therefore it tears and ruptures even more. So if we can provide more length, more pliability, bring the circulation in to help build new healthy tissue, get rid of all this dead scar tissue that doesn't need to be there and that's causing a problem, you can imagine how much more free this foot will be to operate properly. So as we're talking, your thumb is like an eyeball. It's searching, it's finding. I want you to come in at it from different angles. That's why using both thumbs is a really good idea. I want you to come in from the left side, the right side, the bottom, the top. When you find something, when you find a little lumpy, bumpy, or a ropey bit, slow right down and pinpoint on there. Sometimes it's a bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. You're already uncomfortable. That's why you bought this book and video. Short-term pain for long-term gain. Let's get rid of it once and for all, okay? I am here for you. I know what it's doing to your life. I've seen it many, many, many times for 10 years now. Now, I can feel that dissipating, and you're going to start to feel it dissipating. I want you to press, not to the point where you're hitting the roof, but I want you to get in there. Give yourself an honest work over here. There isn't a technical name for this. What we're doing is breaking apart scar tissue. We are working intuitively with the eyeball on the end of our thumb to break apart this scar tissue and these adhesions. You're going to start to feel things warm up in here. You are going to start to feel things loosen up. Some of these balls of tissue. If you need to stop and pinpoint on there, I strongly suggest it. If rubbing one way over it is so excruciating, go another direction. Come from the side and then hook in and pinpoint and stay there for a minute. Slow right down to the slowest pace you possibly can when you get onto those spots. Melt them away. That's actually a really good way of describing it. You're going to melt it away. You're going to come in at every angle you can, because coming from one direction will be less effective than coming from the other. You're going to feel it. Trust yourself. Once you've had enough of a certain area, or you feel like you've done some good work there, move up keep searching. Keep searching with that eyeball on the end of your thumb. Search with your own response. Feel for that scar tissue. Feel for those lumps and bumps. Feel for the stiff spots. Anything that doesn't feel right to you. Go in and find it. Please do not use banana thumb. You will be in pain after if you do. Keep those joints lined up. Pull back the toe, expose the tendon, see what I can find in here. Notice how I'm still coming in from different angles, slowing down when I find something. Feel a little twinge. I promise if you do this regularly, you're going to have a brand new pair of feet. And by regularly, I mean, it depends whether you're just starting. If you're just starting and you have a really severe injury, I would do this once a week, maybe twice a week if you can. You need to heal in between as well. Depending how hard you're going. If you're not going too hard, even 3 times a week is fine. You're going to know. You're going to know how fast it's progressing. And then once you're feeling like you've got normal feet again, don't quit. Maintain this. Do this every couple weeks. Why not? It's very good for you, aside from preventing further injury. So I've moved off the main tendon now, and I'm exposing these other smaller tendons, and I'm moving up towards the other toes. Some of you, I worked on somebody yesterday who had a lot of injury out here, heading up to that little toe. And how did I know? Because when I ran up that tendon here with my thumb's eyeball, oh, there's a tiny one there on me too. See, we live our life every day, we continue our activity that causes these things, so we need to continue to give our feet the TLC and do this repairing technique on a regular basis, just as regular as we are abusing our feet. So yeah, she had lots of ropiness on this, and that just means that, you know, people's gait and the way they land on their feet varies from person to person, so the location of the injury will vary as well. How long you've had it, all those things. You might have noticed I just was tempted to do banana thumb there for a minute, so I got to change position so I can keep my thumbs lined up. Start down here, run all the way up, expose the tendons. No banana thumb. Okay, so the keys here are locate scar tissue, come in from different angles and directions. You can use both thumbs. You can even use a finger if you know, your thumbs get tired or whatever. Locate, come in at different angles, stop, slow right down, melt it away, use lots of pressure, not to the point where you're, you know, crying, but you want to feel those things starting to melt away and dissipate. And what happens is it'll absorb, it'll break apart and absorb and be gone. And the new circulation will bring new healthy growth and also feed those tissues so that when you do stand up, you have a foot. Many people describe it to me like when they came in, their foot was kind of like a little plank, and when they were leaving, it sat down and spread out like this, like it's supposed to. And that's how our feet are supposed to operate. So continue that through the whole, everywhere that you have pain. If you have pain right in the heel bone, working this connective tissue, believe it or not, will address these different areas. I would like you to move up into the ball of the foot, and I'd like you to work and search in between these metatarsal bones as well for anything that doesn't feel right, just like on here. And if you find things like that, some people have masses of scar tissue in between. I'd like you to work those out as well. And as you progress through the treatments, you may find that the pain that you're feeling day to day is now starting to jump around to different areas. It's because we are peeling away the layers. Think of this like an onion. Each time you give yourself a session, you're peeling away a layer of injury that you've accumulated over time. So we want to keep peeling away the layers. We want to let ourselves heal up in between. Be diligent with your stretches, with your strengthening exercises. Make this a maintenance program for yourself so that you don't slide backwards, doing marathon running and re-tearing and, all different other kinds of activities, sports and hiking and working on warehouse floors and whatever it is that you're doing. Make sure that you understand that as you continue those activities, you will also need to continue maintaining these sessions to make sure that you have healthy feet carrying you around. Okay? So I look forward to hearing all your stories about happy, happy feet. Take care. As part of your maintenance and prevention, you'll want to have a golf ball nearby at all times. The reason why we choose a golf ball instead of a tennis ball or something softer is because it's got a smaller and harder point of contact, which allows you to get further in to the areas that need the attention, as well as pinpointing, so more pressure, more accuracy into where it is that your foot needs the attention. The other thing about a golf ball is it's very convenient. You can use it at home while you're watching TV or at your kitchen table, at the office, underneath your desk while you're working at your computer. And it's very handy for traveling and for holidays because it doesn't take up a lot of room in your luggage. Very inexpensive, very effective way to maintain in between your treatments. I recommend doing this a couple times a day. You can also use a frozen water bottle or other devices. This one just happens to be the most accurate for pinpointing and useful for applying a deeper pressure. This is my favorite piece of homework. Barefoot on the beach. How we were designed. How we used to do when we were kids. Perfect exercise routine. Perfect natural session on the bottom of your feet to bring back the pliability. Walks are nice and warm from the sun. If it's a colder time of the year, or if your feet are ultra sensitive to start with, get yourself a pair of barefoot replicating shoes. These act like bare feet, except for there's a thin rubber bottom that protects the sole of your foot from getting cut or slivers or anything like that. If you're extra dedicated to your feet, then you might even build yourself a backyard version of your rocky part of the beach. This is going to be your handy, everyday, couple times a day workout routine to help keep your feet pliable, strengthen the muscles in the arch and the smaller muscles of the feet, and promote that overall foot health, strength, pliability, and well-being. Backyard version of the beach. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Everybody should have one of these. Okay, so I told you I was going to help you with the complaint about tight calf muscles. So what I've done is I've got a little rolly tool here that works really well. Any kind of a long, circular but cylindrical item. There's muscle rollers that they have at the local gyms. You can go to health supply places and get rollers. You can really use anything around that'll do the same kind of job. So, and just roll your calf out, right? And turn it to the side. You can find the areas that really need it just by rolling it on there, and you'll feel which areas are extra tight. Go all the way down, roll the Achilles. Roll the Achilles here. And just get that calf rolled out. Okay? That's fairly simple, but it does an amazing job. Helps tremendously. The other thing that people have been complaining about a lot lately is working at their office desk, that they stand up after a couple of hours of being at their desk and their feet have tightened up. So on the next video, I'm going to teach you a trick for that as well. So stay tuned. Okay, so this is for those of you who are thinking to yourself, oh, well, in the winter in the part of the world where I live, it's cold outside, so walking barefoot on the beach, or anywhere else outside for that matter, is not really an option for me. Well, you're in luck, because we happen to have these neat little creations that lie before you. It is a makeshift cobblestone path. It's lightweight, inexpensive, perfect for traveling. I have been promoting these for years. They will be available through our website at www.healthroots.ca. They're out there on the market under different names. For the sake of this video, let's call it our at-home beach inside. Nice and warm and cozy in the house. I've seen people have these in front of their kitchen sinks to walk on while they're doing dishes and cooking. I've seen them, people have them in their bathrooms, in front of their bathroom sinks while they're brushing their teeth in the morning and the evening. They do 10 minutes on there. Some people have it right beside their bed, so when they swing their feet out in the morning, they wake themselves up with a walk along the cobblestone path. And the neat thing about this is not only is it going to assist the fascia of your feet in warming up in the morning, help create a little bit of strengthening activity and stimulating the muscles, but it's also going to stimulate the reflex points on the feet, which is brilliant for circulation and improving headaches and sleep and all kinds of neat things, digestion, the list goes on and on. So I highly recommend having one of these. You can walk back and forth on it like so. Just do pace back and forth, talking to your mom on the phone, whatever it is, doesn't matter. They're excellent, absolutely brilliant. All right, everyone, so congratulations once again on taking matters literally into your own hands and freeing yourself from the painful injury, plantar fasciitis. So remember, the situation that got us into having the injury of plantar fasciitis in the first place will continue to be a part of our daily lives, and so must the Health Roots program as a result. So please be consistent, continue to do this on a daily basis, and you will have the results that everyone else, thousands of people, have had. Also, please remember to join us at www.healthroots.ca, because this Health Roots program, self-care edition, is just the tip of the iceberg. It's just the beginning of all the support, the resources, the tools, and trainings, etc. that we have coming to you in the very near future. So please join us at www.healthroots.ca, and
We would love for you to send us your stories. Stories that other people that can relate to who have been suffering with this plantar fasciitis, that will relate to what it is that you've made it through and that you've got your life back and you're back doing the things that you love. So please send us your stories. Once again, congratulations, and we'll see you very soon. Life is sweet with happy feet. Take care. My name is Robin, and I'd like to welcome you to Langley Plantar Fasciitis and Reflexology Center. At the center here, what we do is a unique combination between reflexology and a treatment for plantar fasciitis. We actually developed a hands-on treatment that releases the scar tissue. Typically, when you go out and find a reflexology treatment, you'll experience what's called a thumb walking technique. With what we do, we actually do what's called a sliding technique, which is more like a deep tissue massage. So as you run your thumb up the foot like this, rather than skipping half of it with the thumb walking, you actually connect with the entire line.
There are so many people out there that are suffering with their feet, and they don't need to be.
Robin's technique is so different than the others I've experienced. She kind of hooks in to the muscles and the tendons, and that's so different from what other people do.
When I went to my family practitioner asking about this problem with my feet, I said, well, maybe I should try coming to a reflexologist to see if this will help. And they just basically told me it was a waste of time, that this doesn't work. And they're wrong, very wrong.
Reflexology is great for the whole of the body. We all, as reflexologists, know that here. And I think a relaxing environment such as this, a friendly atmosphere, and the occasional joke thrown in, it all helps.
Hi, thank you for joining me here today. In this video, I will share with you a few exercises and stretches that will strengthen your feet. I bet that if you wore bikinis on your feet, you'd be likely to exercise them the way you do the rest of your body. Strong feet are important because they prevent plantar fasciitis as well as help to relieve back pain. So get outside and go barefoot and try out these following exercises. This exercise is the arch strengthener. Put your foot flat on the floor and squeeze the ball of the foot towards the heel. This will strengthen the arch, helping to prevent overpronation and therefore preventing tearing, which causes inflammation and pain. Here you have the arch lifter. Stand with your knees and feet straight in front of you and then lift up onto the balls of your feet and turn out towards the little toes. This will strengthen the muscle that pulls up on the arch, also preventing overpronation. In this exercise, you'll be alternating between lifting the big toe and all of the little toes at the same time. This helps to strengthen all of the little muscles of the foot. Another way to strengthen those little muscles is to scrunch a towel or a cloth with your toes. It's also important to stretch out your Achilles tendon. Find a step or a stair and simply drop your heel down. Another good stretch is first thing in the morning, grab your foot and pull it towards your face. This warms up the fascia, which helps to prevent tearing throughout the rest of the day. Thank you for taking the time to view these exercises and stretches. If you do them on a regular basis, you'll find that your feet are much stronger and you can prevent foot pain from bothering you ever again.